I'll tell my mom's already gonna be here.
Herbs on the beat.
Hero with 8 seconds left for three. Yes!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Heat is On podcast, episode 15. I'm Juicy J, and I'm here with my pal.
Kill yourself. JG Noise and Juicy J. 3-game losing streak. Our biggest in, I think, since before the All-Star break. I think our biggest since the 7-game losing streak.
Yeah,
I don't even have to ask how are you feeling because we're all feeling the same. We all want answers as to how we lost to, I'm not even going to say the Mavericks. I'm not even going to say the Thunder. How did we lose to the freaking Wizards? But all these
we'll get to that.
all these questions, will be answered within this video. But we're going to focus it one at a time. I think that's the way to heal the inner pain within a Heat fan. So, Juicy J, take us through that Mavericks loss.
Yeah, and before we start on the Mavericks game, I just want to say sorry, loyal The Heat is On podcast fans, because we did have two videos, separate videos for the Mavericks and the OKC game before that Wizards game, and we had them ready and we were going to post them, but there was some technical difficulties and the quality was not up to par for what we want to post on this channel. And we're not just saying that, like, it was really bad, so we decided not to, and we said we'll just clump them together after the Wizards win, but obviously that didn't happen, so let's just move on. I'm sorry, guys. We'll be better next time. We'll be on it like a car bonnet. But let's start off with this Mavericks game. How about it? I don't know why I said it so excitingly, because it's not very exciting. This was a awful game. We had the lead in the third quarter, blew it. That's going to be a common narrative for the next game. Duncan Robinson had 19 points, Terry Rozier 27. This was when Duncan Robinson was playing at his prime level, like what we think he could do starting. But he proves to us in later games that he does not do that on a consistent basis. Yeah, Caleb Martin and Jaime, who had great games if we won, but the main thing that we're looking at in this game is Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo with both 14 points. I'm sorry, but if you are the two biggest stars on a team, you need to show up and show out. You need to. You can't just be out in these primetime TNT games against one of the best teams in the West. I'm telling you this right now. If they were on it like a car bonnet and Jimmy was scoring 30, we would have won this game. But he obviously wasn't. That's why we didn't win. And they were just non-factors in the clutch moments. And I will say it did feel like it did feel like not really like fair at one point, because you had Luka Doncic hitting deep threes, Kyrie also hitting deep threes, and at one point Kyrie, he would literally just run right to the basket on Bam and just jump up and immediately make a floater. They're great players, but you have to combat them with great defense. And the Mavs looked like they were the best defense in the NBA compared to what they are actually, which is one of the worst. But I guess one of the only good takeaways from this game was Terry Rozier and Duncan Robinson had solid games. Terry Rozier, I think this is his best game as a Heatle, and it's not very nice that it was on a loss. A very, very sad loss, because we really expected to win this game, continue our win streak, and move on. But obviously didn't happen. We lost to the Mavericks. And that was the first loss in the 3-game losing streak that we're experiencing right now.
Yeah, Mavericks game. It sucks because I feel like the whole game, the whole first half, we were with them. Then third quarter, we let it slide, and I guess that carried over to Friday's game against OKC. Well, not even OKC. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's just a one-man team, and we were up by 10 at halftime. I felt pretty confident in this team. One of the best games by Jaime Jaquez Jr. this season. And I felt pretty comfortable. We also got a 13-point performance by Patty Mills off the bench, shooting 70% from the field. Terry Rozier had a great game. And Jimmy almost closed out with a triple-double. Main problem here, I believe, was our center. Was our all-star starting center. But, it's not a one-man problem. One man, we're all going to have these slumps, and it's the job of the other team. I mean, the jobs of other team members to pick up where you're off. And I think Jaime did just that, but it wasn't enough, as the Thunder had a 30-16 advantage in the third quarter. That's 14 points that you're losing by. And then they outscore us in the fourth by 3. Just not something as a fan, or even as just part of the team, where you've been sticking with this team. They're running the West. You've been sticking with them the whole game, and then come third quarter, you let it just fall or whatever. It was also a very bad game for Duncan Robinson, who picked it up in the fourth by just making 2 threes, despite having the amazing game he had in Dallas. But, I mean, Mavericks, hard, but could be understandable since they have an MVP caliber in the league, in their team. Thunder, very hard, considering we were up by 10 at halftime. But, again,
Also had an MVP caliber
also
player
has
on
an MVP caliber player on their team.
who had an incredible game. I'll get at that.
Now, the Washington Wizards have no MVP, have no team. The Washington Wizards has
The worst defense in the NBA.
the worst defense in the NBA, the worst road game record in the NBA, has one of the worst home game record in the NBA,
Has to be the worst home game record.
was on a 8-game losing streak at the road.
No. Oh, on the road.
Yeah, on the road. And, I mean, you feel comfortable. You feel confident. Even if we played in Washington, I was like, okay, yeah, we're going to blow them by 20. They came to the Heat house, and they won. They won, despite, in my opinion, one of the most aggressive games I've seen Bam. Honestly. I can't even blame him. He stepped it up. He heard the hate. Jaime did his thing. Martin with that huge tip in the end that gave pause. But that huge tip in the end where it
You
got
didn't
us,
have to say it.
huh?
You said pause, then you said the same thing. Like,
the huge tip in the end where
all right, 3 times is crazy.
where it gave us all Heat fans some hope, and we got the stop we needed. Would I have preferred a timeout? Yes, but had Jimmy made the 3, we wouldn't be here right now. But I mean, there's really not
We'd be
much,
here just a lot happier.
huh?
We'd be here just a lot happier.
Oh yeah, and what sucks about it is, I mean, we gave up 8 points in the second. They had an 8-point advantage in the second half. First of all, it was not supposed to be a close game, but I expected it. I'm gonna keep it real. I expected it. I did not expect them to win. Sure, people could say this is Duncan Robinson's fault. This is Jimmy Butler's fault for not being aggressive. We all feel the same way these losses, but we have to understand the team cannot just be a one-man rotation. And although, yes, Jimmy is our superstar, and we should need more than just 20 points a game from this man, come playoffs, none of us are going to be complaining about Jimmy Butler. So, I mean, right now it's moments.
Better not be.
Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about that. But it's games like these where these these men have to step up. And by these men, I'm talking about Jaime, who's been doing great. I mean, the last 3 games, the only thing I could really say that's made me happy is Jaime. Patty Mills, how are we feeling about him?
I mean, he did everything that I thought he wouldn't do. He's proving me and probably the world wrong right now. Patty Mills is looking like another Kevin Love type acquisition in the buyout. I mean, we don't miss with these guys. Patty Mills again had 7 points and had a great game for a role player on our team, and I did not expect anything like this from him at all. And I'm telling you that complete honesty. Patty Mills, thank you for coming to the Heat, and thank you for contributing as much as you can. And what you can is apparently a lot because you're playing some great basketball out there. And the last thing I want to say about this Wizards game before we might cap this off, or maybe we'll keep talking, this is the fault of the team. I understand, but in the fourth quarter, when you're down by a lot and the time is winding down, and your 2 stars have had a great game, you need them in that fourth quarter. You need them. I don't care if it's the Wizards. You need them.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo proceeded to not do anything in that fourth quarter.
And it's crazy because I'm going to tell you something. There was one man who really gave me hope, and that's Terry Rozier. Both on the offensive and the defensive side.
2 turnovers. Terry Rozier is playing with Heat culture. Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler are not. That's the last thing I expected from this team right now. Bam Adebayo had a great game, but you also have to look at the missed hook shot, easy hook shot that he could have made, given us so much more time on the shot clock to drop a different play instead of just Duncan Robinson breaking the 3.
I mean, we could say that.
Duncan Robinson had an okay game, but he did miss a lot of shots.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Robinson had 2 wide open threes down the stretch when we were down 4. Wide open. There was the one where they passed it to him. He shot it, missed. Rebound, he pump faked, hit a step back, shot it, missed. And it sucks because Tyler Hero, and I hate bringing this up, but I mean, how long is he going to be out for? This isn't, it's a minor injury. It's not even a minor injury. I should be back next game. It's been 8 straight games. I mean, Tyler Hero's absence is hurting us, and so is many other players. But, there'll be another video coming out just talking about that. Right now, there's not really much to say about losses, especially to the worst team in the league. But you got to keep your head up high, and I know that's easier said than done. But we play Denver. We play Denver Wednesday. If we get that win, it won't make up the fact that we lost to the worst team, but it'll feel so good if we beat Denver.
Yeah, and you would have liked to go into this Denver game with a big win streak like we did last time, but you know what? We'll do what we can. And Denver is going to be a hard team to bounce back against, but I'm never going to stop believing in this team, and I just want to send out a message to all the Heat fans out there, all the real ones who are sad right now and are in grieving process. Like JG Noyes said, and I know it's hard because I'm failing to do this as well, keep your head up high. And I'm sorry, but we have to go dark. We Heat fans have to hide from all the haters out there who are clowning us like crazy right now. I mean, I have not checked Instagram, and I will not. I won't check TikTok or any of those things because I know that my entire feed is going to be about the Heat losing to the Wizards. And I just want to forget about this game. This is probably worse than the Memphis Grizzlies loss because at least it's not the worst team in the league. This is like losing to the Detroit Pistons. It really is. I think it might be worse, to be honest, because the Detroit Pistons actually have, a solid roster. These guys just suck. I'm sorry. And it's just utter shock that we lost to these guys. I mean, the video that we filmed for the OKC video, I remember just saying multiple times that we're not going to lose this game. And I didn't think we were. And towards that end, I really thought that we were going to win. But you didn't have enough time. I mean, you made your comeback with 2 minutes left on the clock. Almost happened, but you either go for a bucket, and get overtime, or you go for the win. Which, if the ball's in Jimmy Butler's hands, you know what he's doing. But
I
it
mean,
almost happened.
listen, it wasn't a bad shot, honestly.
No, it wasn't a bad shot at all. I'm pretty sure it rimmed out.
I think I'm more mad at Robinson's initial shot
Very mad about Robinson's
because
initial.
a running fadeaway from three being double teamed when you've had one of the worst games of this. He had 5 turnovers by himself, missed 75% of the shots he took. I would have preferred a Terry Rozier step back three on 3 defenders than a running
Of course.
fadeaway double team 3-pointer by Duncan Robinson. That game.
Duncan Robinson on a bad night.
Listen, had he been shooting how he did at the Thunder game, at the Mavericks game, completely different story. Had he been shooting like that and then missed, I would have been like, you know what, that's fine. It's one shot that he missed, and he did good this game. But for you to just do that, knowing you're having one of the worst games of the season, it sold. It sold us the game.
True. But I think that's all I have to say about this team right now. We've said enough about Patty Mills, I think, and how much he's been helping us out right now. But it's not really showing since we did lose 2 times. But that's not his fault, obviously. There's no way that one guy has utterly destroyed us when he's been on limited minutes.
Right.
My opinion, I think you need to try out DeLon Wright or something because got to change something. But hopefully we can get our players back. Tyler Hero, we need you. And we'll talk more about that in a separate video. But for now, I don't know if JG Noise wants to say one more thing.
Yes.
Go ahead.
May God be with all of you.
Amen, brother.
As we progress towards the end of this season, it's been a roller coaster of events. A huge roller coaster of a season. And I don't know about you guys, but this season went by fast.
Mm-hmm.
Fast.
Going by really fast.
And, I mean, we got to enjoy the last few games we have. There's still hope. Just stay hopeful. We got 2 or 3 Pistons game. We have 1 or 2 more Wizards game. We have the second easiest schedule. We just got to take advantage of these games. If we fall short to certain teams, that's as long as we get the important wins, the ones we know we can get, and put a dog fight in the ones we as fans believe we could win. I feel like we could end up as the 5th or 6th seed if we really just have another meeting like we did. I need Spo to schedule another meeting like that, and let's do what we do, man. We don't lose to the Wizards. We're not that type of team. With that being said,
True.
We played the Nuggets on Wednesday. I felt confident, and I still feel confident. I believe in this team. I don't care if we just lost to the Wizards. I hope that, and I say this every time we lose, but I really mean it sincerely. I hope that was a wake-up call for this team, and by this team, I mean Jimmy Butler. And if Tyler Hero is back that game, I'm 100% certain we're winning. I would literally bet on it, but for now, we just keep our mentality under control. We go with the playoffs mentality. Jimmy said he doesn't care what number we are. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As we're going to the finals again. So let's do what we do. Let's get dubs out there. Let's start another win string and let's end this season strong.
Yeah. And if there was anything that would be a wake-up call for this team right now, it's losing to the Wizards. This is the wake-up call of wake-up calls. So let's lock in. Let's get some great placement in this season. By the way, before we end this, the Heat are now 8th in the standings. So just letting you guys know, but wanted to talk about that at least one time, just because wanted to put it in there. But I think that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode. It's going to be a special episode on injury-related stuff. And stay tuned for episode 16 of the podcast, which will be the Denver game. So thank you guys for watching, and see you later.
Heat.
Go Heat.